Welcome to Rauta Beyond, and one of the first, maybe the first, album review on this channel. This is pretty much going the same way as my main channel, Rauta, but this time we're not gonna talk about metal music, but just basically everything else but metal music. That is, given there is a review copy. And the first one in line shall be the Australian band Astral Winter with its album called Perdition II. Released by Immoral Frost Productions, this album is out to 31st of July 2020, so out in a few days. Now one might wonder why this album in question, which is already unboxed here given that this came without a jewel case, why this is here instead of Rauta, given that you can find this album on Metal Archives. That is, I'll show you in a bit and I'll explain. So let's take a look on Metal Archives. As you can see, Astral Winter is here labeled as melodic black metal. Well, that might be technically true for the first releases by the band. Now, I've been listening to the band through reviews, that is, since the first Perdition album out in 2013, and already back then it was clear that the album isn't about metal music anymore. And even more so, I think this pattern is repeated here with Perdition II. Let me just assure you, these are non-metal release purely. These are more like atmospheric instrumental music with keyboards, that is sort of synthesizers, and then some acoustic guitars, and also major samples. So let's do this review a little bit different than on Rauta. I'll try to mainly focus on the good sides of here and thus give you 5 reasons to check out Perdition II. Now, first of all, given that this is instrumental music and this is not music related to metal except through the past, the first thing would be, why check out this, is that this is somewhat different from your typical non-metal ventures. That is, you've probably gone through Dungeon Synth, you've probably gone some synth wave, and who knows what else that is related to metal throughout the members and whatnot. This is something a little bit different, however, because this is not exactly Dungeon Synth, but more kind of atmospheric music just done with keyboards. So while there are a lot of similarities in terms and style, the final outcome is quite different. Meanwhile, sometimes this kind of a Dungeon Synth means kind of a crappy, even kind of a retro-ish approach to the music through keyboards. Astral Winter has actually done it kind of a modern way. So while it's not exactly symphonic, orchestrated music, there is way more kind of a professional way to approach the music. And as such, it's actually quite nicely done. The second reason would be that the mood here is right spot on. It's sometimes very melancholic, sometimes kind of a sad, but also a little bit uplifting every now and then. So there are certainly kind of these beautiful parts which are quite easy to be enjoyed, whether or not you're going for sleep and you need some music to relax, or maybe you just go outside for a walk. Doesn't matter daytime, nighttime, or something in between. The music is nicely composed, even if not really the catchy type of music. Thing number 3 would be, it's not repeating itself, not too much anyway. Now that there are synth parts and lots of keyboards used, it's also having this kind of other important factor which is done by guitar parts. And these acoustic guitar parts are actually really nice and moody. But once again, they are nicely done, nicely composed. So there's this nice balance overall through the whole album. It's not just repeating itself, but creating different layers. So this is kind of a constant shift of moods throughout the whole album. And as such, it is something that is easy to be enjoyed because it's not going back and forth throughout the original setup, but just changing so you know you're actually enjoying sort of a diversity. But number 4 would be, this is not boring you to the hell with its length. Given that this is less than 40 minutes an overall total, it's something that once you're getting in, you might give it another spin without getting too much boring. Now, there are lots of instrumental albums that easily play an over an hour, and if not the composition work is not too good, you will get bored over time. Now, this album knows when to just end before it gets boring, and as such, I think it's a nice decision. What else? Well, in case you just happen to be a metalhead looking for something metal related, but you're not sure where to go. I mean, some bands that are using keyboards, incorporating elements which are not exactly metal, but you don't want to go to pop, you don't want to go to rock, or the bands that might be worthwhile looking for are something way too much beyond. Astral Winter is maybe the kind of a entry portal type of material outside metal but still related to metal. So people who are ready to go for dungeon synth because they are related to metal, so they have these kind of a similarities with intros, outros, intermezzos, interludes. This is very much like that. So it's kind of only one step away from metal, but still different enough to kind of justify its existence. With these 5 reasons, I think in case you just happen to be ready to take the step off your metal comfort zone, especially in black metal, and you're not shy to enter the world of intro, outro, and that interlude music with its nice mood and atmospheres, this is definitely something that you might consider worth your time. Check out the samples, you will find them online, and I hope you enjoy them. See you soon with more Rauta Beyond content. Bye bye.